Jumping on to give a little bit of a market update. So there is some good news. We have more inventory than we have seen the last year or two. And we also have some slightly disappointing news. I think most people were predicting that rates were going to go down a little bit this spring. And instead, when the inflation report came out, the Fed actually raised rates a little bit. And the combination of those things means that there are some homes for sale that are sitting on the market, and homes that are good homes, not just total fixer-uppers. We've seen those sitting on the market always, but so that's been a little bit of a change, and that's a little bit of change for sellers. So for the last few years, really since the pandemic, most homes that were priced well and that were in good condition were selling the first weekend. And there are now homes on the market that are priced well, in good condition, and they may take 2, 3, 4 weeks to sell. The good news for buyers in that is that you're gonna have, hopefully, a little more time. Pre-pandemic, if I had someone looking for a home, I'd get a list together. We'd go look at 5, 6, 7, 8 homes. They'd think about it. We would go out again. We would revisit them. We'd see new ones that would hit the market. And it might be a month or 2-month process to buy a home. Since the pandemic, it's been a month to 3-month process to buy a home, but not because we were in the car with all of these options. It was because you kept losing out homes in bidding wars if you weren't cash and you weren't willing to pay $30,000 or $40,000 over list price. So the good news is for buyers, I think those days are done. If a home is amazing and is priced a little bit on the lower side, we are still seeing some bidding wars, but not as much. So also, I have some charts, very exciting, I know. And the first one, these are for the last 5 years. And the first one is for the median sales price. And so the yellow line is for Clark County, the red line is for all of Georgia, and then the green line is for Oconee County. So you can see that even over the past 5 years, Oconee County median price home has been higher than average in Georgia and Clark County. And you can see there's been a steady increase as well for all homes. Please take notes of those jagged lines, though, the green line for Oconee County, because I'm going to show you another chart and we're going to kind of highlight and talk a little bit about that. So this is the average or median days on the market for the past 5 years. So this obviously, when that's almost at zero, like hardly any days at all, this is that pandemic stretch I was talking about. This is 2019 leading up to the pandemic. And then this is in the last year or two. And I want to point out again, though, those really jagged peaks that you see in the green, the Oconee homes. What we seem to see is that Oconee homes are going to do more of whatever it is. So if homes are sitting longer on the market, Oconee homes are sitting longer than even Clark homes or average Georgia homes. And my theory behind that is, especially right now as rates have gone up, if you are paying more for a home, that 0.5% interest rate hike is going to make a significant difference in your monthly payment. And so Oconee buyers might be feeling that a little bit more than other places are. Although I am seeing more open houses, more days on the market, across the market in all of the areas that I work, which is not just Clark and Oconee, but any county that surrounds that. So I'm seeing that in this entire area. The overall take from that is buyers, you may have a little more time, a little more breathing room. Also buyers, this does not mean, unfortunately, that prices are about to plummet. Prices may be stabilizing. You may be able to get repairs done. You may be able to get a little bit of seller pay closing costs, but this is not, in my opinion, the beginning of a big price drop. There are not foreclosures. There is still not a ton of inventory, historically speaking. So I think you have a little more time, but this is probably what you're going to be paying for homes. For sellers, what this means is don't be discouraged if your house doesn't sell immediately. That does not mean that it's not going to sell. That does not mean we need to do a drastic price reduction. But it's just something to be aware of. It might take a little more time, just as you time when you might need to move. And also, your home needs to look really good. And so please reach out to me if you have questions about that. There are lots of really inexpensive and fairly simple ways to make your house look really good. And I think more than ever for a seller, that's essential because buyers are paying a lot for a house. And so they are expecting a lot from a house. And so again, there are really simple ways to do that to make your house be the best that it can be.